So rule number four states that you want to maintain the eye contact whenever your prospect is speaking. Whenever your prospect is talking, you want to make sure that you are focused and you are looking at their eyes when their mouth is moving. Now, there's a number of reasons why this is important. By the way, if you have the ability in your, let's call it a sales call, if you have the ability to take a seat where you will not be distracted. Remember, I want you to really understand what your prospects are going through. If you meet each other in a restaurant or in a Starbucks or in a coffee place and you have a chance to pick your seat, I would pick a seat or suggest that they sit facing out looking at people while you're facing a wall. I don't want you to be distracted. I want you to be able to give your full attention with your body language and with your eyes especially. So if you do have if you're at a conference room and you have the ability to position yourself so that you're not looking, say, out a glass window, I'm always looking to position my prospect. If we're trying to figure out where to sit, I'll suggest they sit in a certain place so that when I'm looking at them, behind them, if it's a corner or the corner of a wall or a booth or whatever, that's much better because I won't be distracted and I won't be looking at a lot of things. If you're facing out and you're looking at a big panorama outside a window or a store window and you can see people coming and going, you'll almost always, your eyes will follow movement and you'll be distracted. So try to avoid that if it's possible. If it's not, don't worry about it. Take your seat and do the best that you can. Now, as far as maintaining eye contact when someone is speaking, there's a couple of benefits to this. Number one, when they are speaking and their mouth is moving and you are looking in their eyes, this is what you will notice if you do not break eye contact. Now, don't look up. Don't look to the left to see what you had for breakfast this morning. Don't look to the right to think about what you're going to say. Don't be looking beyond them at more interesting things. Have your eye contact right on their eyes. Don't bore a hole through their head. I don't want you to laser beam them, but I want you to maintain that eye contact as they speak. Here's what you'll notice immediately. It's amazing. Your retention of what they say, your remembering what they say, and also your ability to really understand where they're coming from will increase as high as 30 to 50%. I'm not kidding you. You will watch your retention increase up to 50%. Now, this is huge. This is huge because one of the problems we have in an interaction, in intercommunication, is being focused. And if you can just train yourself that whenever the person is speaking, to not be distracted, to not look down, to not shuffle your papers, do not look at your laptop, do not check your phone. Oh my goodness, what a terrible thing to show a prospect that you're not interested, to keep looking at your phone, to keep looking at your computer monitor if you're in an office. Wow, don't do that. Keep that eye contact when they speak. Your retention will go up exponentially. I've had people, people in training tell me they've increased their remembering of what the person said, facts and figures, names, dates, everything increases tremendously when you maintain eye contact when someone is speaking. So first of all, just from a practical point of view, you'll remember a lot more. It'll really help you a lot. Number two, your prospect will really feel listened to. Remember, most people, when they're talking, are looking around, are allowing themselves to wander with their eyes, with their body language. They're tapping their fingers. They're turned a different way. They're not focused on the prospect. And when you focus on your prospect, and as they're speaking, you're maintaining the eye contact, you will find that your level of rapport will also increase exponentially. I have literally had people tell me over the years, MJ, I don't know what it is about you, but I feel comfortable with you. I feel like you're really listening. I have literally had companies sign $100,000 contracts with me saying, we talked to your competitors, we feel that you really understand what we're going through, there's something about you that's different, and we're going to make a decision to go with you. Well, I don't know why we like you. I literally had prospects say to me, I don't know why I'm writing you this check, I don't know why I'm going ahead with this, but I feel comfortable with you. And I believe that one of the things that I've been able to do, and I've actually had to train myself to do it. Remember, I'm not a natural listener. I'm a talker, right? You get that about me, right? I'm an extrovert. So I've had to temper, I've had to learn how to relax, I've had to learn how to shut my mouth and how to focus. And I'm telling you, and I don't mean to brag, but I've had many people in my personal life, as well as in my business life, tell me that I am a great listener. And I've worked at it. This is a skill you can actually learn if you're not good at listening. And believe me, maintaining eye contact when someone's mouth is moving will help you tremendously. Try it in a low-risk situation. I always say at my seminars, go home tonight with your spouse, partner, significant other. When they're speaking, try it in a low-risk situation. I had a couple of people have said to me, well, MJ, for me, that's a high-risk situation. I get that. I meant low-risk in that there wasn't a sale to be made, but actually, we're always selling. So. But literally, if you're uncomfortable doing it in a situation where you're talking to someone about your business or your product, literally try it with people, in your personal life, family members, as they're telling you a story, as they're telling you about their day, dinner time with the family. When someone speaks, instead of looking at your food, look at them when they're talking, and you'll find the rapport will go up, your retention will go up, and people will really notice. I remember literally meeting with a person, and we were having dinner, and they were a friend of mine. And as the person was telling me something that was very important to them, and I sensed that it was a very important issue for them. Again, you got to have your antenna up. My antenna was up. I literally stopped eating, and I put my fork down, and I just focused in on what they were saying to me. And they actually stopped halfway through, and they said to me, I can't believe that you stopped eating to listen to what I was saying. They were talking about something that was pretty emotional to them, and they noticed it. And so when you really pay attention to people and you make that connection, the eyes are the windows to the soul. And so you're making an eye-to-eye connection. It's a heart-to-heart connection as well. And again, like we said before, if you want to honor people, you want to really honor people, listen to them. Be a good listener is a tremendous way to honor who they are, especially if they're revealing something that's emotional to them. And by the way, here's a tip on making eye contact. When you start to speak, now of course, I know it doesn't sound like it, but you're actually going to talk to people in these examples, in your interactions. When you talk, you want to lay off on the eye contact a little bit. You don't want to freak people out. So I don't want them to think that you're staring at them, that you're boring a hole in their brain. As they're speaking, notice the words here. Maintain the eye contact when your prospect is speaking. If they're speaking, you maintain the eye contact. When you go to speak, and now maybe you're going to show them your brochure or your laptop or talk, you can now break the eye contact. I don't want you to make people uncomfortable. I mean, I've got some pretty intense eyes, and sometimes I can see that if I'm really boring in on people, that it kind of unnerves them, especially if they're not used to making a lot of eye contact. So when I go to talk, I'll be looking at the pad, I'll be drawing something. I won't keep talking, keep boring into them with the laser beam. So while it's very important to maintain eye contact while they're speaking, you don't want to do it all the time when you're talking. So when you're speaking, you can allow your eyes to wander. You can be thinking about what you want to say. You can be, remembering something. Usually, if you're right-handed, if you're going up to the left, you're thinking about something that you remember. If you're creating something, if you're right-handed, you're usually actually looking up to the right to create something that you want to say, or you're trying to create an image or something that you want to bring to them. That's fine when you're speaking. It's okay for you to not look at them all the time. I would still maintain eye contact back and forth as you're looking at your pad, as you're showing them a presentation, as you're showing them a brochure, as you're explaining how to use the sample to them. Whatever you have going on, you absolutely want to not give them the laser beams. By maintaining eye contact, you will develop tremendous rapport, you'll listen better, you will retain more, and you'll really honor your prospect. You'll develop a tremendous bonding and rapport, and they'll really notice the difference. Always maintain eye contact when your prospect is speaking.